Moses. Israel is written in Neter. Why? Because our ancestors, going back to the flood, you had the original Adam, who, according to Kebra Nagus, the Ethiopian, Seher Kodesh, meaning the Holy Bible, as I mentioned, written every 25,000 years to equal the circumference of the planet Earth, which is 24,896 miles. This comes from our Midrash called Commentary. You know, we have a 101 and a 120. And of course, this comes from Supreme Wisdom and the add-up chamber of our first prophet who came to us after slavery in 1913, called a noble Dawood Ali. You know, so according to Rabbi Matthews in a book called The Black Jews of Harlem, he makes reference to both as our first prophet being noble Jew Ali, according to Rabbi Matthews, and of the Ethiopian Hebrew congregation keepers. And also in the book, it also mentions how Dawood Farad, Israel, eventually left Detroit, you know, who was with the Morris Zion Temple first, and then of course he helped out his brother Noble Ali in 1913, and it's a misunderstanding according to Morris Zion Temple that some chaos happened during that time, and the temple supposedly broke up, and then they went to Chicago. It was originally called the Canaanite Temple. Of course, we say the Morris Zion Temple became known as the Morris Science Temple, and of course then became called the Nation of Peace by Elijah. You know, but Rabbi Farad was with and sat down with Noble Ali. We believe, according to a book by our sister called the Empress Vertice, in a second book by a brother named Ramsey Bey, he talks about how Noble Ali was raised in the Morris Zion Temple. So we believe in that picture, if so, is 1899, according to my grandmother, the person being bar mitzvahed in that picture is actually Noble Ali, the 13-year-old in the front. Of course, we will always say we believe because we were not there, but of course, to oral commentary taught to me by my grandmother, and of course my father's side from the West Indies, the Howellites, you know, who went back to my grandfather with also our family, Leonard Percival Howell, who went back to Ethiopia in the 1913 to witness our last emperor of Israel, P.e.a.c.e, Selassie, who you see a picture of right behind me. You know, who the word Messiah means to be ordained as a king. He is the last known, actual, factual, you know, King of kings, Lord of lords, and conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Now, again, you know, so we go back to our ancient history. We go back a lot of times. We go back to ancient Egypt, which some will call Ken, but actually we call that the original Israel. Let me show you how we wrote Israel in Neter. That letter is Isra, which Amharic, or also in Hebrew, means throne. Isra. We say Osiris or Asar or Asar in a set, meaning Isis and Osiris, but actually it's a title which means throne. Because Isra in Hebrew means to be upright or to ascend to. As we hear in history all the time, you hear kings and princes or whatever, always trying to ascend to the throne. So then we have that's Isra, and then of course we have an elder called El. So we have Isra, El. Isra, El. That's the original Israel.